Good. John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. We give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yah by way of YAHUAH HaMashiach, our Master, Savior, and King. And with that being said, search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. Proverbs 31 and 10, sir. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1, sir. And you just hold tight. Matter of fact, 1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse 17, sir. 3 and 1, sir. Proverbs 31 and 10, sir. Because we started with that discussion before we hit click on this camera, it's only right that we begin with that. I'm gonna tell you sometime, man. Don't make that 17 chord. Make it 25. I'm gonna tell you something. I know something. 25 and 25. You know what I'm saying? So I know sometimes T get upset with me. I love her now. That's why I get on. That's why I bust her head open when she get out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the type of woman she is capable of being. But boy, a lot of type of stuff that she done picked up along the way, that stuff got to go to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? It's got to go to the wayside. So I'm just not with it, especially considering what I do for a living. There is no way in the world that if I let my woman do it, you know what the rest of you women sitting in here feel like you could do? You can size and disrespect your husband like that because he let hers do it. Matter of fact, we'll read that in a moment. Go ahead, sir.
Proverbs 31 and 10.
What does it say, yo?
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Who can find a virtuous woman?
For her price is far above ruby.
It's far above ruby. Any of y'all actually ever seen a ruby? I ain't never seen, I don't think I've actually seen a real one in person. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's real. Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've seen some, I don't know if they were real. But they look real nice. You know what I'm saying? They real precious. What else it say, Troy?
The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
No, you know what that mean? No need of spoil, you ain't gonna take nothing from it. You know what I'm saying? And we looking at spoil, obviously he ain't talking about just spoiling his house. You're not gonna take his respect. You're not gonna take his manhood. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna take that from him. Y'all need to consider that. 1 Peter 3 and 1, sir.
It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
Be what?
In subjection to your own husband.
I mean, if that man tell you shut your mouth, shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? What I'm just saying is, tell him again what it say.
It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
What else, Peter?
That if any obey not the word, they also may, without the word, be won by the conversation of the wise.
Now, how y'all women expect to win somebody to the word when your behavior ain't gonna line up with it? And when we were having the discussion about when we seen the young woman with that role with it that had the objectionable outfit on, you know what I'm saying? And it said that you need to be discreet and chaste and obedient to your own husbands, that the word of Elohim is not blasphemed. So y'all don't realize that. When you run your mouth, you blaspheme the man's word. That means you bringing damnation on your head. That's why he be hard on that. Because we ain't married yet. If she do that while we married, she damning herself. You damning yourself to hell. That ought to bother. I can't do that. I'm just going to be mad and keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize that. You're going to damn yourself. And then if I got the word, that's double damnation. That's ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be I don't want that for her. What I want that for her? I say I love her. I want her to go to hell. Keep on disrespecting. I don't care. Keep on running. I don't care. Just go ahead and bust hell wide open. No, shut your mouth. Stop doing what you're doing. Come on.
It says, while they behold your chaste conversation,
They behold your pure behavior. Come on.
coupled with fear.
Oh, man. That means coupled with respect. So don't you realize that if you don't respect your husband, you are committing sin? Because couple mean to go along with that. Not only is your behavior pure, but you respect your husband at the same time. Because you about to hear, this is almost a description of what you're hearing about a virtuous woman, because obviously if your behavior is pure and you respect your husband, then his heart can rest safely in you, knowing you ain't going to take nothing from him. Come on.
It says, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing gold or of putting on of apparel.
What else?
But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
Don't you use rubies and you adorn yourself with them? You don't plan this here? What and that quiet and meek spirit, what is it? What did Peter say about it? What did he say about it?
He says, which is the sight of Elohim of great price.
It's the great price. It's a great price. That means it's very valuable. Do you know what I'm saying? That is very valuable. Now, it's the reason why I wanted y'all to hear each man's perspective, because you need to know, okay, you need to know the man that you with. You need to know him. You need to know if he don't like this, or he don't like that, or he done told you don't do this, or don't do that, then don't do it. It's just that simple. Don't do it. Because it's not going to end well for you. It's not going to end how you thought it was going to end. It's going to end with he going to snap. Then you going to say something. You're going to infuriate him some more. He's going to snap some more. This ain't the first time I done told y'all this. You know what I'm saying? Don't no man want to have to snap on this woman. This is why I told you. That nigga who woke up in Phoenix, Arizona and shot that girl in the face. See, it was already in his heart to do something to her because he had already been doing something to her. You know what I'm saying? That nigga wake up, I'm going to slap this hoe, she tried me today. You know what I'm saying? It's niggas who think like this. I do not get up in the morning and be like, boy, I'm going off on T today. See, she might think that because she think everything is just like this here. Boy, I only snap when you try me. See, you one nigga, I'm sitting there telling you, like I mentioned to all y'all before, your interaction with me is not going to be the same like hers or hers or hers because I'm not with them. So they're not comfortable enough to speak with me in the manner that you did. So therefore, the type of things that I may go off on you about, that's not going to happen. But guess what? The way that she interact with him is going to be different how she interact with me. And then she might do something with him because she comfortable with him. And he going off. Because I know that by reason of being alive 35 years. Men don't deal with women they're not with the same as they deal with the woman that they with because the relationship parameters are different. It's not the same. The reason being because you know what I require. She don't. You know what I'm saying? So therefore I would not go off on her about doing something that I require because that's not my woman. I'm going to let her know, hey, don't do that now. But you know better. So that means, as the words say, too much is given, much is required. So you don't look at, it'll be the same way you married, we married, you're not looking for him to pay for the rent, the light bill, buy your clothes and shoes. You ain't looking for him to do that. That's on me. You know what I'm talking about? So your dealings with him is going to be different. Because he don't take care of you. Nigga, I got to clothe you and buy your drawers and your bras and all your fancy drugs you like to take. I mean your herbal medicines. You know what I'm talking about? Talking about them type of. Y'all know that stuff y'all be on there looking at. You know what I'm saying? I got to buy all that. I got to buy your head wrap, your shoes. And guess what? I ain't got no problem with it. Because whatever you say you want, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get that. I don't care nothing about it. You say, hey, I seen some real nice wallabies I want. Yeah, I'm going to go buy them then. Do you want me to dime for you? You know what I'm saying? I'm for real, though. I ain't got no problem with that. That's my wife, and I'm going to tell her I don't want to buy nothing. I want a fresh fit, and I ain't going to buy her one. I want some shoes. I ain't going to buy her none. You know what I'm saying? I know what perfume she liked the most. Don't you realize I get some money to the side going back? Because you stole the other one I bought. I heard about it too. I appreciate that. You stole the pink caviar. I heard about it.
She could never use it.
Go ahead. I'm just saying, no, I ain't buy that for you. I know she told me she ain't use it. She only want to use one. Come on, Corey. 1 Samuel 25 and 25. It's about time for another bottle for it, too, to be honest.
1 Samuel 25 and 25. Let not my Lord, I pray you, regard this man of
Well, I'm
Belial.
sorry. Give him 23. Now, what we're dealing with here is Nabal gets slick out his mouth with David. And David wanted to kill him. See, I'm also hit twofold things on this. I'm going to tell you something. T might do something make me upset. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been done forgave before she did it. You know, after she did it. Like, it's over with. But I'm going to show you something in the book of Ephesians. Because y'all got to learn not to be walking around angry with stuff for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Because it'd be over with for me right then. You know what I'm saying? No, it'd be over with. Trust me, I don't be angry. I might have to straighten you again and let you know. Don't do that again. I don't be angry. You have yet to see me. You've only probably seen me angry twice. Come on, Cole.
All right. 1 Samuel 25 and 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hastened and lighted off the ass, and fell before David on her face, and bowed herself to the ground, and fell at his feet, and said, Upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be, and let your handmaid, I pray you, speak in your audience, and hear the words of your handmaid.
Stop. What that sound like to y'all? We done dealt with this in the past. What that sound like to y'all? So, huh?
I would say that to me, that sounds like the lady that came and asked for the blessing to touch him, and he was like, that's for the, she's like, even the dogs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Listen to it again. She fell at his feet. Listen to what she said, be upon me. Because that woman asked for a healing. Go ahead, family.
I know it because this was like when I heard it on the phone.
Yeah.
When I first got it,
Yeah.
which is like a year.
Yeah.
And it was a machine act. You know what I'm saying? Taking on our scene.
Absolutely. But you don't see, look what she said now. That's why I said, because I just say we done dealt with this before. This ain't new.
Is that when she was touching his garment?
No, listen to what Abigail say to him. Go ahead, listen to what she say to him.
When Abigail saw David, she hastened and lighted up the ass, and fell before David on her face, and bowed herself to the ground, and fell at his feet, and said, Upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be.
That woman say, let that sin be on me. The sin that Nabal did by offending you to the point where your wrath was kindled, where you say, I'm going to kill everything that piss against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to turn around and look at what we done dealt with this before. Number 14, he said, let me kill them all as one man. You know what I'm saying? So now this woman is saying, let that iniquity be on me. This trespass that this man had committed. But listen to the other thing that it said.
And let your handmaid, I pray you, speak in your audience.
In your audience. Go ahead.
And hear the words of your handmaid.
What you think that means? Y'all ain't got no idea what that could mean.
When his crowd was on high.
1 John 2 and 1, young man. Hebrews 7 and 22, young. Just hold what you got. First John chapter 2 and verse 1.
That which was from the beginning.
Hebrews chapter 1, 2. Give me Hebrews 1, 1. Go ahead, sir. 1 John
2 and 1.
Let's go.
That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our own eyes, which we have looked upon.
You 1 John 2 and 1?
The first epistle of John.
2 and 1. 1 John 2 and 1.
Oh, my little children, these things I write unto you, that you sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate
You have
with the
what?
Father. An advocate with the Father. YAHUAH HaMashiach, the righteous. And he is the propitiation for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the sins of the whole world.
Now, we didn't read it, but Abigail is basically described as being a righteous woman. You know what I'm saying? And you know what an advocate is, right? A mediator, somebody who speaks on someone's behalf. You know what I'm saying? And she just said, let me speak in thine audience. Listen to the words of your handmaid. See, the purpose why we here this evening is because we seeking to be able to dwell in these tents and booths because a certain individual by the name of YAHUAH HaMashiach is there to speak on our behalf, that iniquity be upon him, that we might find a final resting place to dwell to have peace. Because she described her husband as a man of Belial. I mean, she said, my husband is worthless. He's a sinner. And even though he was a sinner, see, because the reason why I mention this here, because the Hebrew niggas say a woman, if she getting beat by her husband, she supposed to be like Abigail and just take it. You know what I'm saying? No, you ain't supposed to let no man put his hands on you unless you getting freaky and he your husband. Other than that, it's going to have to get felt up. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious though. Because I don't know all the facts and the detail about this young woman getting shot. You shoot, I can tell you, man, you shoot a woman in her face and in her chest in front of her children, you done beat her in front of her children. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? Nigga couldn't tell me otherwise. Because he just didn't get up on the Shabbat and say, I'm going to kill my wife who I just married in June. And he say he a servant of Yah. DJ told me earlier, a woman put on blast, got called the police on her husband for beating her, and niggas on Facebook telling her, oh, you shouldn't have did that to him. He a man of Yah. He ain't no man of Yah putting his hands on you. Because a Mashiach say, I'll get it. Ephesians 5:29 before I'll get it. I got you holding something too, man. I got it. That's why I got all three of y'all. Because I figured we'd run a little long. That way I can jam a lot in a short period of time. Ephesians 5, but I appreciate it. Ephesians 5, like I said, he's ready to roll. Ephesians 5:29, 28. Ephesians 5:28. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loved his wife loved himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, even as the master of the synagogue. So you realize something? Ain't no man gonna beat himself up. What man gonna walk in the room? Wow, you idiot! Wow, punch himself in the face. That's what you do. That's what that nigga did every time he put his hands on his wife. He punched himself in the face. You know what I'm saying? Y'all women got to look at it in the reverse. Every time you disrespect your husband, get sideways with your husband, you just did that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't think none of y'all would talk slick to yourself. If you do, you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no man got no business put his hands on y'all. Y'all supposed to love, value, honor, and respect yourself more than that to allow that to occur. Ain't that one of you brother got no business putting your hands on no woman. Because you supposed to love, value, and honor her in that same fashion. Because the same way these white folks been disrespecting us and doing us crazy in this land, they been doing stuff to them too now. You can't sit back and remember. Y'all can't forget they took that woman and hung her from a tree and beat her fetus out. You can't forget all them times them people raped your wife in front of you and made you watch it and look at it and you couldn't do nothing about it and it was killing you on the inside because you wanted to kill every last one of them standing there. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget about the fact they take every last one of our sisters and use them as sexual objects and exploit them for cash. You know what I'm saying? Because most of these strip clubs you see ain't no black folks on them. It's white folks making money off of y'all. All our sisters want to be video vixens half naked. It's white folks on them magazines. All of them want to be in music videos shaking their behind. These white folks own this stuff. Doing the same stuff they was doing to you on the plantation. Exploiting you sexually. So you still got to have that mind that you want to protect that woman to not allow these things to happen to her. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world no black man got no business putting his hands on this woman after what we've been experiencing in this land. Ain't no way in the world. Nigga ought to be shot dead. Much less he do it in front of the children. Type of nigga put his hands on the woman in front of children. It's bad enough to argue in front of them. You know what I'm talking about? Much less put your hands on them because you ain't got no business arguing in front of no children. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you see them kids hit that serious, man, we just gonna stop, hit the pause button, we'll just pick this up later. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't need to see that. Because when they see that, they gonna think that this is the proper way to function. You know what I'm saying? We have to operate better than that and wiser than that. That's the same reason I tell y'all, look here, man, I know some of y'all ain't with the fathers of your kids, but you'll never disrespect the other parent to your children. Never. Don't never. If the daddy's a buster, a chump, whatever he might be, let them grow up and find that out on their own. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to hear that out your mouth. They be like, yeah, why my daddy don't come around? I can't tell you, baby. I didn't know he loved you. and leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? That's the most despicable, vile thing any woman could ever do. I find that utterly distasteful and disgusting. I will lose every ounce of respect for you, and I will call you a maggot, foot dragging slut straight to your face. Because that's what type of behavior that is. No real woman. Man, look at my mama ain't never said nothing about my daddy my whole time living. Not to this day. Not to this day. Not nan word. Nothing positive, nothing negative. Ain't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. You ain't never supposed to open your mouth to your kids about their parents. What I got to you? Go ahead. What you got? Hebrews 7 and 22. And we also got Hebrews chapter 1. And we'll swing back to 1 Samuel 25. Everybody on the phone all right? Yes, sir. Come on, sir.
It says, by so much was Yahshua made a surety for a better testament.
A better covenant.
And they truly were many priests, because they were not suffered to continue by reason of death. But this man, because he continueth ever, hath an unchangeable priesthood. Wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come unto God, Elohim, by him.
Wow.
Seeing he ever liveth to make intercession for them.
Say he's able to save them that come to the Most High by him. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to actually read it. Nabal actually gets spared because this woman came. You know what I'm saying? He only died when he found out what was going to happen to him. See, he was saved by the uttermost because he was able to come to David through her. Because this really ain't about this woman. You know what I'm saying? Even though, always remember, I tell y'all this all the time. Remember, he male and female at the same time. So when you see something about a woman, it can very well be by the mashak. Don't be no fool. Come on, man.
It says, for such an high priest became us, who is Kodesh, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens.
You see that there? Say harmless. When you turn around and you look at how Abigail came, she came harmless. She came harmless. That's good. Hebrews 1 and 1, Corey.
Hebrews 1 and 1.
Tell it to him.
Elohim, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spoke in time past unto the fathers by the prophets,
What else?
has in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, who being the brightness of his esteem, and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high, being made so much better than the angels, as he has by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they.
You see that there? Now, if he's sitting at the right hand of the Father, wouldn't he be in his audience? Don't you realize in here, I'm looking at here in John chapter 15, when he said, you abide in me and I in you, you can ask what you will and my Father will give it to you. Because that means the Father will hearken unto his words. Same way when you look at Job in the 42nd chapter making intercession, he said, I'll accept Job. I won't accept y'all. Let Job speak on your behalf. So you got to realize, Hamashiach, he say he's an advocate. You know another word in layman term, what y'all used to, the advocate is? A lawyer. Y'all don't even sit back and realize Abigail is coming up and she's a lawyer. She's being a defense attorney on his behalf why this man shouldn't kill him. You know what I'm saying? Hamashiach is your defense attorney for the yard for him not to kill you. See, while we looking at this is to realize that this man made a great, great sacrifice and then speak on your behalf so that you might not be killed. So it make you sit back and think, see, because all this going on, Nabal does not know that his life is in peril. See, even before we had any knowledge, not that we ever knew Yah, but that Yah knew us, this man was speaking on our behalf. Y'all do realize that the Hamashiach had to be speaking on our behalf. Every last person in this room known everything they've ever done in their life that was contrary to this man's word. Wouldn't you say? You might not remember every solitary thing, but you remember a lot. And you ain't realize the whole time this man was coming to kill you. But then he had somebody say, you know what? Let that sin be on me. Let me speak in your audience and hearken to my words on why you should spare this individual. Come on back to 1 Samuel 25. And what verse did you stop at, Corey? I want that to sink into your brain. Because we started out looking at, for you women, y'all got to realize that, man. Y'all are the greatest treasure a man could possess. You're the person who a man is basically vulnerable to, because he going to let all his defenses and his guard down for you. You know what I'm saying? You the person that he going to live his life for. You the person that he going to lay down his life for. Same way Hamashiach did for his wife. And y'all got to realize, you got to look at the same way. He said, man, my wife dealt with me treacherously. You know what I'm saying? He said, I spread out my hands to my wife. She didn't come. She went to another man. You know what I'm saying? She talked to me sideways. She did me like this here. See, I mentioned something in the book of Esther. I was thinking about something in the book of Esther, and I'm going to get it in a minute. Where you at, young Corey?
I'm at 1 Samuel 25:25.
Go ahead, young man. Getting some airtime?
Let not my Lord, I pray you, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal. For his name is, so is he.
Say, don't regard this evil man. What else?
Nabal is his name, and folly is with him.
You know that's the same one when we looked at other day in Romans chapter 7, that no good thing dwell in my flesh. Because folly is with it. When we look at his flesh, folly is with it. So we got to learn to separate ourselves from it. That's why he said, who can have compassion on the weak and them that are out the way? That's why Mashiach came in the flesh, to take on the infirmities that we experience, so that he can be a faithful and merciful high priest as it pertains to the reconciliation of the people back to Yah. You know what I'm saying? To be able to reconcile us back to Yah, will be able to get us to be able to dwell at that marriage supper with him. You understand what I'm saying? Come on with it, young man.
But I, your handmaid, saw not the young men of my Lord, whom you did sin. Now therefore, my Lord, as Yahuwah lives and as your soul lives, seeing Yahuwah has withholden you from coming to shed blood and from avenging yourself with your own hand, now let your enemies and they that seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal. And now this blessing which your handmaid has brought unto my Lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my Lord.
Now let that sink into your brain. Now what you think that could be talking about? This woman say, one, that you haven't sought to avenge yourself. And this same blessing that I brought to you, let it be given unto the young men that follow you, that all your enemies may be made as Nabal. Psalms 110, Troy, and about verse 1. Dwight, give me Joel chapter 2 and about verse 1. You know, because I know Lanka Dwight asked me about this a while back, this here, man. Because I told him, when the time comes, you know, when you talk about this here, if anybody know about GMS, what the nigga used to say, when we get them superpowers, we going to do all this here and do all that there. You know what I'm saying? But when the time comes, boy, I done read y'all Psalm 58 and 13 a few times about how we will wash our feet in these people's blood, that we might know there's a reward for the righteous. When the time comes, boy, we're going to lay these people dead, stanking in the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get Psalms 149, because I meant to get that when we were here the last time, and I'm going to read that myself.
All stars.
Go ahead, Troy.
Psalms 110. Yahuwah said unto my master, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Yahuwah shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thy enemies.
Rule in the midst of your enemies. What else?
Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power.
You're going to be willing in the day of... So you look at the day of his power. We kind of talked about that when he said when men began to call on the name of Yahuwah. See, in the day of his power, see in Luke chapter 24, what did he tell his apostles? He said, dwell ye in Jerusalem till you be endued with power from on high. And in the day of his power, the 3,000 men were willing to give their souls to a Mashiach. In the day of his power, they were willing. Now, we got to sit back and look at, right now, we looking at, this is the last day of the feast. Don't it say the last great day of the feast? Because this is the day that y'all will, if we be alive to see it, that we gonna be dwelling in unwalled villages in our tents safely with our king and our power forever with no fear whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? He said, we're going to read it, but I'm going to say it now. He said, blessed are those who are called to the marriage supper of the Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Our whole objective is to sit down and eat with this man. This man said, if you serve me, I will gird myself and serve you. You know what I'm talking about? Our whole objective is, and we're going to read the verses, y'all will. You got that white on, because if you make it to the marriage supper of the Lamb, what you think you going to have on? So don't it make sense for you to be rehearsing that before you get there? Like them fake niggas like to quote judges when he say those who rehearse the righteous acts or dwell in the land. Well, the whole purpose of everything you doing is of a rehearsal for what you getting prepared to do. Because you know what happens to you when you rehearse something. You get good at it. You know what I'm saying? You see all dancers and music. You see musicians do rehearsals for songs that they know backwards and forwards. You sing them night in and night out. But it's so it can be perfected when you get on that stage. Well, you rehearse the righteous acts of YAHUAH day in and day out, so when the time comes, whether you be awake or whether you be asleep, you will be perfected. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what these people fail to realize. That people love to scream practice make perfect, except when it comes to practicing Yah's word. Don't you think if practice make perfect and you practice Yah's word and he say the law of Yah is perfect, converting the soul, don't you think you should be perfect? We just seeking after and desiring something that a mass majority of our brothers and sisters who say they in the faith do not desire, and that is perfection. That is actually to be able to dwell with Yah in peace. You know what I'm saying? In this life and in the regeneration. You know what I'm saying? So all the stuff that y'all got going on, man, deal with that stuff and move on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all being forced to grow up probably a little faster than you anticipated. I know me and my friends, we grew up faster because of the lifestyle choice that we made. You know what I'm saying? We weren't that immature, but then when we getting in these streets, it sped up the maturation process. You can't be no sucker out here. You can't be no little boy out here. You can't be naive out here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to cost you your freedom, it's going to cost you your life. You know what I'm saying? So it sped it up. So when we come around here and start dealing with this, we begin to see the same principles that we always knew. It's just learning now to have self-control over our thoughts and our actions. You know what I'm saying? That our thoughts and our actions are in line with the way of YAHUAH 1,000,000%. You know what I'm saying? Because this one thing, boy, fat boy, you tell me all the time, and they would just say, boy, don't make no enemy, boy. You know what I'm saying? Boy, if it's somebody you don't want to make an enemy out of, boy, it's the Most High. You don't want him to be your enemy. You know what I'm saying? You don't want him to fight against you. You want him to fight for you. Come on, young man.
Verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of Kodesh from the womb of the morning.
The beauties of Kodesh from the womb of the morning. Don't you realize that they put him in a sepulcher, there was a big old hole on it, and then they rolled that stone back? That would be kind of like a womb. And he coming out the womb of the morning in the beauty of Kodesh and the beauty of set apartness because he was resurrected by the spirit of Kodesh and the resurrection of the dead. That's what we after. That is what we are after. It's bigger than just showing up in here with a white shirt and a white dress and a white head wrap on. It's bigger than just, hey man, calling the phone line and y'all will have a synagogue of our own. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than that. It's to be able to stand before this man in the beauty of Kodesh in the womb of the morning. Don't you realize when them people come up out them graves, they coming out in the womb in the morning. They're going to be born again. They're going to be born as the sons of the Most High. That's what we after. That is what we after. We ain't after nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I know most of y'all enjoy each other's company. Probably except for mouse. You know what I'm saying? Not for real. You know what I'm talking about? Just not for real. You know what I'm saying? And that's all well and good. Because you ought to enjoy each other's company. Because you ought to look at one another as family. I wouldn't care how long you knew somebody. You know what I'm saying? You could meet somebody, man, and they could be considered more family to you than some people you probably know in your entire life. You know what I'm saying? And y'all ought to have a mind to ride from one another. All that petty stuff, retarded stuff you niggas got going on, man, check that stuff at the front door. You know what I'm saying? Come and tell y'all, I'll ride for every last one of y'all because that's just what I am. But like this here, like these two men here, boy, that was like this here, man, that's without a question. You know what I'm saying? Link know why. Boy, I got love for him. I ain't got to go into it. He know why. You know what I'm talking about? Me and this man been friends for over 20 years. I'm going to ride for him. That go without question. Neither though I ain't no killer, but he'd have called me and been like, boy, we got to go ride. He asked no question. Well, all right, well, come on and get me here. And I ain't no killer. Ain't never pretended to be, ain't never acted to be. But you ain't finna fool with him. You're not going to mess with it. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to mess with his children. That man, no boy, I got out of jail, ain't been home, and I told him, man, I ain't going home till I see your daughter. And I stayed around there about 2-3 days, and I meant that. Ain't got nail change of clothes, no nothing. But boy, I done just got out. You say Carisha been born. I ain't going home till I see her. And when Erica brought around there, then I looked at him and say, now I can go home. Because I meant that. My nigga had his firstborn daughter, and you thinking, oh, I'll see her when I see her? Oh, no, I ain't going home till I see her. You know what I'm saying? It's that serious. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all ain't had friends like that where it's that serious. It's that serious because loyalty is paramount to me. I ain't never crossed this man. Ain't nobody who said I was friends with him can ever open their mouth and say, boy, boss crossed me. Nigga be lying. Because I'm a loyal individual. You know what I'm saying? Nigga done crossed me and I still show loyalty to him. I done did stuff for niggas I know they won't do for me. That ain't even the point. And that should make you think about somebody. Because boy, Hamashiach showed loyalty to people who did not deserve it. And was running with somebody who he knew wasn't going to do nothing for him and didn't treat him no different. You know who that nigga is. Y'all call him Judas, but his name in Hebrew is YAHUAH. Y'all know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Real Mark Buster. Well, I got you over.
110 verse 4.
Read verse 4.
YAHUAH have sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Yep.
YAHUAH at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath.
You strike through him. Come on.
He shall judge among the heathen. He
Judge.
shall fill the places with the dead bodies.
Wait, we're feeling with what?
Dead bodies.
Well, we're going to get something out of that ship, man. Let the enemy say, and he say, let the men of my master, he said, let that blessing I gave them, let the men that follow, let them get the same thing. And let all your enemy be like Nabal. Kill them dead. Come on, Dwight. Joel 2:1. This what, oh my goodness. He said, that's what a nigga used to scream. I ain't even worked legs today. Hamstring locked up. You know what I'm saying? That's my hamstring locked up. I ain't even do legs. Y'all with I ain't till Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's like this here though, man. This is what them niggas like to look at when they talk about them superpowers. Come on, Joel 2:1. Come on, young man.
It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Hold on. He say sound what?
And sound an alarm in my Kodesh mountain.
Hold on. Get me Revelation chapter 11, about verse 14. He say sound the trumpet in Zion, right? Okay, blow ye the trumpet and sound the alarm. You already should know from what we dealt with on trumpet. He say, boy, you blow that alarm, that's when you know it's time for war. Come on.
Revelations 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quick. And the 7 Malachim sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdom of our master, and of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever.
Don't you realize, and we're not going to go look at it, don't you realize that a woe was coming to Nabal, and his wife ended up becoming David's wife. You know what I'm saying? You know, most times kingdoms are referred to as women. And I'm coming to take my wife and give her to a man more righteous than you. Come on.
And the 24 elders which sat before Elohim in their seats fell upon their faces and worshipped Elohim, saying, we give thanks, O YAHUAH, Elohim, Almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken thee thy great power and hast reigned.
Mm-hmm.
And the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou should give reward to the servants and the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great.
You know, and we didn't read the verse up I wanted. We won't go to it, but a seventh trumpet was blown. And when that seventh trumpet was blown, that's when all this went down. And did you not hear him say he would give a reward to his servants, the prophets, and the Kodeshim, and all them that fear him? Because the same blessing that I've given to you, let it be on the young men that follow you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Dwight, come on back to that. Troy, give me Romans 8:14. Come on, Joel 2:1 again.
It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my Kodesh mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of YAHUAH cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
It's nigh at hand.
A day of darkness.
A day of darkness. What he said was going to happen in that day. Didn't he say the moon? Didn't he say the sun wouldn't give his light, and the moon would turn to blood, and all the stars in the Shamahim would fall to the ground? Come on.
A day of darkness and of gloominess. A day of clouds and of thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountain.
He said if it's a day of clouds and thick darkness, that don't that remind you of what he said when we were journeying in the camp? You know what I'm saying? Cloud come on the camp, everybody be still. You know what I'm saying? What you think gonna happen? We gonna be still. But see, like he said in Joel chapter 3, he said all the other people gonna be ashamed, but he gonna be the hope and glory of his people, YAHUAH, because we don't know what time it is. Our salvation is come. That's why he say when you see all these things, lift up your eyes on high, your salvation is near. Because like we looking for that salvation being near, it's time for the tabernacle. It's in gathering time. Just like we talked about last night, it's time for him to gather the fruit of the land. It's time for us to dwell in booths. It's time to go home. Come on.
A great people and a strong.
Are strong.
There have not been ever the like.
Ain't been nothing like it.
Neither shall be any more after it.
Ain't gonna be nothing like it after.
Even to the years of many generations.
Mm-hmm.
A fire devours before them.
A fire devour. We just read about this yesterday. He coming back as a consuming fire. So Hamashiach going before him. What else?
And behind them a flame burning.
Woo-woo. It's behind them too. Come on. Oh, that was coming. Come on, Stan.
It says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them.
The land is like the Garden of Eden. Corey, give me Revelation 2 and about verse 5, I want to say. And I will get you Isaiah. I'll just tell you what Isaiah 51 and 3. Isaiah 51 and 3 say Jerusalem will be like the Garden of Eden. He say the land will be like the Garden of Eden. Y'all know what's in the Garden of Eden, right? What's in it? The tree of life. Don't he tell you about the tree of life in Revelation 22? And what did he tell you would be guarding that tree of life in Genesis chapter 3? Two flaming swords. And don't you find it interesting that a sword is, fire is before him and behind him? Got to protect that. Got to protect that. That's the same way it was protecting the tree of life as a Mashiach. The same way that's protecting that tree. He got fire. Man, a whole book about this, man. See, we had to know that. Most of the Israelites feel like, man, we don't need to know that, man. Keep these laws. Yeah, we're supposed to keep them. We also need to know why we believe what we believe, too. How else we going to get the blessing that she said should go to David if we following him, knowing that David is only a similitude of a Mashiach? Come on. I had to put 2 and 5. I had to put that in there in case a nigga come back later talking about we following King David.
Revelations 2 and 5. Remember therefore from whence you are fallen, and repent and do the first work.
You see what that is? You need to remember where you fallen, because see, you need to remember. See, we get a chance to remember what we did. See, Nabal ain't even know what we're coming across the dome. Come on.
Or else I will come unto you quickly, and will remove your menorah out of his place.
That's what he was coming to do, with to knock Nabal on up out of here. But you know that's a strong thing to say, I'm going to kill everybody urinate against a wall. So you know he wasn't talking about killing no women. Come on.
Except you repent.
Except you change your ways.
But this you have, that you hate the deeds of the Nicolasim, which I also hate. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Ruach says unto the called out assemblies.
Go ahead.
To him that overcomes will I give to eat of the tree of life.
To him that what?
To him that overcomes I will give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Elohim.
Where the paradise of Elohim is? That's Jerusalem. He say the land will be like the Garden of Eden, that means similar to it. So the whole time you was looking at the Garden of Eden in the law, and Adam tilling it and working it the whole time, that was about New Jerusalem. That was about where we trying to go. That's about where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? The thing that pertains to eternal life is there. Why wouldn't you want to be there? I'm telling y'all this when y'all run across them niggas, if you say something to somebody like, well, I'm trying to get back to the land. Oh man, you on that fleet doctrine. Sure lives. I'm gonna leave your wicked butt right here to get killed, boy. I'm going back where I came from. That's where the tree gonna be at. Where I want to be in America. You eat some apple trees? Some date trees? Nigga, screw that. I appreciate you, Corey. Come on, Dwight. Tell them what verse you in the second chapter of Joel.
Still in verse 3.
I don't know.
It says, a fire devoureth them before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them that is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
Ain't that what Revelation 19 says? He come on a white horse. Go ahead.
It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array.
Strong people set in battle array.
Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness.
You know what that sound? What that sound like to y'all? They're getting ready for war. You know what I'm saying? The time is gonna come when we gonna be ready. We gotta be ready for war. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all women something. Y'all ain't gonna be nowhere on the scene. That means that's why I'm telling all these young men, you got to be men now. What this man gonna do with a cowardly soldier? What y'all women gonna do with a cowardly leader? What you gonna do with a man can't even lead you, ain't even got the kahunas to tell you to sit down and shut your mouth? When you know you need to be told to sit down and shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? What type of man you gonna deal with that can't even tell you when you're wrong? See, I know women like you like to say, I want you to make a decision about what restaurant we go to or what we gonna do and all that type of stuff, and that's all well and good. That means absolutely nothing. What you gonna do with a, would you rather have a man who can make dinner reservations, or set a date, or a man who can be able to direct that household and make firm decisions to lead the house? Tough ones too. You know what I'm saying? And be willing to live with the consequence of that decision. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes you see, man, well, I want to go out to eat. Wait, man, I ain't thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to, boy, the house needs woo, 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 woo. I'm thinking about that, though. I ain't really concerned about what restaurant to choose. I don't care where we eat. What you want to eat, go pick it out and we'll go. Tell me when you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know at the same time, you know, y'all want to be like, see, that you taking care of thinking about me and planning something out. That's all well and good. I ain't saying that they should never do it, but our minds ain't really thinking about that. Not when you got somebody to take care of. You know what I'm saying? If y'all just dating and, you know, getting freaky in the world and you stay over here and you stay over there, yeah, he might think about that stuff because this is stuff that's going to help him alleviate your draws from off your loins. You know what I'm saying?
You know what
I'm saying? But when you actually in his household and he's responsible for your soul, he ain't really thinking about all that. He thinking about the stuff that you don't sit up at night and think about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of stuff y'all don't sit up at night and think about that he got to think about. You know what I'm talking about? Just like it get real That's why he asked, I need to get real. A man sitting there thinking about, boy, how I'm going to protect my wife and my children. You know what I'm saying? I said, me and Fat Boy done had these conversations many times. You think about, boy, these crackers come take a nigga in the FEMA camp, man. Boy, what is a nigga going to do? Because I just ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? You got in your mind that I'm trying to kill. Before we put that apocrypha to the side, Fat Boy can remember, I told him this here. I say, boy, I didn't want to be like Judas Maccabees, boy. I forgot how many they say he took out. I said, I just want a quarter of it. You know what I'm saying? If I can hit a quarter of what he took out, I'll be satisfied. Because he's supposed to kill a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I'll say the only thing about Maccabees, the book of Maccabees, except for some of that stuff in there, the actual revolt is historically accurate. You know what I'm saying? That actually did happen. It's the other stuff that's in that book of Maccabees you got to be careful with. You know what I'm saying? Because that actual revolt did happen. Them boys did buck, and they did kill a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Now, was they supposed to buck? No. But they said bump it, though. You know what I'm saying? Be like that sometimes. Hey, they were wrong now. I can't say they right because we got no book for it, but it be like that sometimes, though. You know what I'm saying? They got tired of it and say, boy, we finna start killing some Romans, and whoever else want to come around, kill them dead, and Judas Maccabees is credited for killing quite a few people. You know what I'm saying? And when you coming out of prison on top of that, and you reading that, boy, you like this here, boy. I want a part of that. You know what I'm saying? See, it's different for some of y'all because y'all just reading it, but boy, when you're coming out of prison, like our war, and you read that right there, you be like, well, shoot, boy. He already know. He told y'all something about it. Like, boy, we need some YAHUAHs. We need a couple 40 cows. You know what I'm saying? Like this here, boy. Because, boy, I know I wanted me a Desert Eagle. Especially after Smiley came through with that 40 cow. I fell in love with it. I said, boy, go and let me keep that one there. You keep the other one to the house. Y'all know I ain't supposed to have one I can get 5 to 15 years for, but so what? Man, it was a beautiful weapon, though. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful weapon. When I seen it, I was like, boy, I got to have me one of these. I fell in love with it. You know what I'm saying? And I already know that thing will knock your whole dome off. You know what I'm talking about? But the time coming. I appreciate that. What I got you on there?
Verse 25.
I'm sorry. Let me read Psalm 149 and verse 4. Make it 2. Matter of fact, I'll just take it 1. Give me Revelation 15 and 1, sir. Revelation 15. Y'all all right? Psalms 149 and 1 and Revelation 15 and 1. I guess we just he got me taking a different track. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get to that marriage supper of the Lamb, y'all permit, though. I'm going to get to why we got on white, though, y'all permit, though. I'm done with the fact, I just want y'all women to be women, know how to carry yourself as a woman, know how to respect your husband, and know how to respect yourself. And just know when to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? It's not the first time I done told you that knowing how to be quiet can get you a long way. Get you a long way. With any man, even more so with a man who serves, y'all get you a long way. You know what I'm saying? As I said, as y'all heard every last one of these men in here say, they don't want to hear no back talk. I told y'all this before, that back talk will infuriate a man. Same way, I put it in the same example. That's music. I put it to you this way, if you got kids, and your kids talk back to you, you ready to slap them niggas into next week. Now your husband may not want to slap you with his hand, but he gonna slap you with some words though. Cause don't no man want that. Every last one of you women know, I mean, T ain't got no kids though. But any of y'all that got kids know, boy, you wouldn't dare want that little boy to talk back to you. Shoot, that's how Sharon got slapped a couple weeks ago, talking stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking back something serious, cause I know, boy. I done talked back to my mama, boy, didn't do it too many times after that first slap now. You learn real fast. That's when that came rolled. If you gonna say something, you mumble up under your breath. He just shared that bean the other day. Your mama told you to say, picking, you gonna be like David Duck, picking your mouth up off the floor. You know what I'm saying? See, some of y'all don't come from that. Like they say, your people might not did that there. You round this hill. Man, I ain't, wow! Like this, oh man. You walking off, you say something, you be like this here. What you say? You said.
Boy, can't even mumble nothing.
You know what I'm saying? You don't mumble nothing until you get all the way in the room, shut the door, up under your collar. You talking about, I hate you. saying? Then the work party, they poke their head in the, what you say? I ain't saying nothing, I said, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real though. I couldn't talk, we couldn't talk, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Because it was see, we understood it was consequences and repercussions came with that if we did it. So then I'm coming from a generation where that happened, so you even know even more, I'm not with it. Like I said, y'all didn't hear. But when I asked that boy he was fitted with that yard, he told me, no, I heard all that attitude. I had to carry myself. This nigga's not my child. I said, let me focus on finding this sweater for this brother so I can get it sent to him. Because, boy, I would strangle this nigga to death, wake him up and strangle him again.
2 times.
You know what I'm saying? Cause I hear that attitude, I for real, that's what going like, let me stay in this chair, cause this not my child. Cause I don't want her to be around here. What you do to my son? He got greasy. He got greasy. You know what I'm saying? I had to get it. You know what I'm saying? Man, that stuff ain't cool, man. You know what I'm talking about? Even as hard we been on him, it cause we love him. They ain't love him, man. They're like, man, screw that nigga, man. Pretty get that nigga. I don't care what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't no accident to say, hey, every one of you men, you got something for to do, let it be known so you could get it. So another man could be in his ear and tell him how stupid he been acting. So he don't hear it from just one person. It ain't gonna resonate from none of y'all women because he don't respect women properly. You know what I'm saying? So he need a man in his ear making him slave like a dog. So he'll get the point. So he'll understand you can get your mind right, or this same slaving you doing, you could do it in a chain gang. Because they gonna work you for the free. You know how I know? Because they worked me. And you know what was crazy? When we was out there working on the highway, first thing come out of nigga mouth, boy, they working us like a Hebrew slave.
They got anything.
Man, I ain't never used that terminology to them people talking about get this weed eat and all this stuff. Man, I don't do that. I don't do yard work. Man, I'm telling you, man, I ain't used a lawnmower since '86. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna use a lawnmower for? I ain't got no yard. I live in the complexes. I ain't finna get out there and cut their grass. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I'm cut Mayfield grass, shoot. No, nigga, I ain't getting out there cut nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't none of mine. I don't own this. It's not because I didn't want to cut grass. We didn't have a yard. If we had a yard, I'm willing to wager Mom Duke would have bought a lawnmower. Nigga, get out there and cut my grass. You know what I'm saying? Cutting. All of it. I had to cut my granddaddy grass. He had me cutting grass at 5. Because he had a house, he had a yard. You know what I'm saying? Man, don't use no weed eater. I told him, I sold crack, man. I went to college. I'm a businessman. I don't work with my hands. Nigga, do just miscellaneously use weed eaters? Why do you think because I'm in prison I know how to use a weed eater? I'm insulted by the insinuation.
Clearly,
you know, exactly. If I was a weed eater user, I wouldn't be here. But the reason being because they think that's all we do. They don't think that you got a brain. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was telling y'all, that's why I mentioned the Scarface record when he said, am I less of a man because I don't work with my hands? There's nothing wrong with working with your hands. But the reason why they push black men to work with their hands because they don't think you got a brain. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to use your brain. I've been around some black men that are most skillful, creative, fiscally sound individuals you would ever meet in your life. And the worst part is their talents are only exercised in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'll sit back and tell you, you want to work with your hands, man, I ain't got no problem with it. You know, I just be messing with it. Man, I don't, you know what I'm saying? That man do good work. That's his passion. That's what he do. I love the fact he love it. You know what I'm saying? And he could be a blessing to many people in this room because of his knowledge of what he does. You know what I'm saying? But I am a thinker. You know what I'm talking about? I do not work with my hands. The only thing I do with my hands is move heavy weight. You know what I'm talking about? But hey, he might be at work now. He's a flashlight cop. We remember him. He gonna walk on you like this here. Security check 7. But when he get that pistol, he gonna be like this here. Watch out. He ain't scared to shoot. And he still had that flashlight now. I didn't want you to know I got a gun. I got more than a flashlight. You know what I'm saying?
and it's got to be.
But you don't never know. He can sit back and learn that field and say, I want my own security business. I ain't gonna work for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just challenge y'all, encourage y'all to use your brain. Because America don't want you to use your brain. You know why they don't want you to use your brain? Because they know your brain better than theirs. Please know that. They know your brain better than theirs. Psalm 149:1. Hallelujah. Sing unto Yah a new song and his praise in the congregation of the Kodeshim. You got Revelation 15:1. Revelation 15:1.
And I saw another sign in Shemaim, great and marvelous. 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Elohim. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast.
Got the victory. How else you gonna get the victory except without a Mashiach? That means you overcame. Come on.
And over his image and over his mark, and over the number of his name. Stand on the sea of the glass, having the harps of Elohim. And they sing the song of Moshe.
They sung a new song. Y'all know what the song of Moshe is? Y'all saw a song of Moshe? Y'all know what that's at?
Deuteronomy 32.
It's in Exodus chapter 16. Actually, Exodus chapter 15. That's when he say he got victory over the rider and tossed the enemy in the sea. Same thing you seeing that he's saying right here. See, he told these people in the congregation of the Kodeshim, because he said these are the ones who got victory over the beast. We're telling to him again, because he said they were going to sing a new song and his praise in the congregation of the Kodeshim. Come on, bro.
And they sing the song of Moshe, the servant of Elohim.
They sung his song. If y'all, we're not going to go look at it. Go read Exodus chapter 15. Exodus 15 is the song of Moses.
Run that out.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm going to get you Exodus 15 and 16 right now so you can hear one piece of it. I got to, because it just came to my mind. There's something very important in it. It's considering the feast that we keep. Exodus 15, and I'm going to say about verse 13. Make it 11. He said, who is like unto thee, O Yahuwah, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in Kodesh, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Mashiach came working many signs and wonders. Who was like unto him? He said, thou stretch out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Because the Redeemer shall come to Zion and turn away all ungodliness in Jacob. Ain't that what the Apostle Paul told you? Ain't that what he told you? What did the Mashiach come do? He came to redeem you and turn you from all ungodliness. What you think that's about bringing them out of Mizraim for? To redeem you from the ungodliness. We were just talking about this. Horus said, I released my seed of copulation between a man's buns. You don't think they wanted to get away from that? Now we over here in America, well, no matter how you look at it, spiritual Babylon, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, they around here putting copulation in a man's buns. Tell you ought to like it. Just like that meme I put up the other day. It was funny, but that real. These lame niggas can tell you, boy, them Jordans ain't fake, but you couldn't tell that was a man? Niggas say, how you so backward you can spot a fake pair of sneakers and a fake belt and a fake jacket and a fake shirt and a fake backpack, but you can't spot a nigga with a shlong? Talking about, boy, I thought that was a woman. Nigga, Peter's bigger than yours. But that's how lame these niggas is, though. These same young niggas, they can take. Man, don't you realize it's all well and good to be able to know it's something that you buy if it's real or fake. But don't you know that's some faggot type stuff to be pointing out a man talking about his clothes fake? Don't you know that's what women do? Oh man, sit right to my bro. You got on some fake Louis jeans. Niggas, you gay or what? How is you studying a nigga outfit? Man, you see it, boy, that boy clean, boy. He clean out here. That's about as far as it ought to go. Them some mean jeans that nigga got on, boy. I like them. Boy, that's a hard shirt, boy. That's a mean fitted. That's a mean snapback. Boy, I like them shoes, boy.
Sandals, mighty nice.
You understand what I'm saying? No. That's feminine for a man to be analyzing a nigga outfit. That's why he can't pick out no tranny. Because he a tranny lover anyway. That's what he wanted. A nigga dress up like a woman, so bend his old faggot behind over. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas gay as the day is long, man. Let me read verse 13 one more time. Thou in thy mercies hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength into thy Kodesh habitation. You know, by the strength of a Mashiach, now we able to dwell set apartly in him. Remember, we've been referencing all week, my strength is made perfect in weakness. So it's by the strength of a Mashiach you able to dwell in him and he to dwell in you. You understand what I'm telling you? This is the next thing he say. Thy people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestine. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab trembling shall take hold upon them. And all the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Didn't we just read about all them people in Jerusalem last night, how they faces would melt away? Their eyes would melt away, and they holes and their tongues would melt away in their mouth because of that burning fire that's going before and behind them. Then he say, fear and dread shall fall upon them by the greatness of thine arm, and they shall be still as a stone. Till thy people pass over, O YAHUAH, till thy people pass over whom thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O YAHUAH, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Master, which thy hands have established. Do I give me Revelation 21:1, please? YAHUAH shall reign forever and ever. What do you think this place talking about that his hands established, that he of people would dwell in forever? Eventually we'll get back to 1 Samuel 25. Revelation 21:1.
And it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I saw John, the Kodesh city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God, from Elohim out of heaven, prepared as his bride adorned for her husband.
She's prepared as a bride for her husband. Now we gonna sit back and look at that. That's what I'm saying, telling y'all. I'm talking about on a natural level. Any of you women that want to be married, you need to be preparing yourself for your husband. You know, he said a bride adorned as a bride, making ready for her husband, going back to a woman who adorned herself with a quiet and meek spirit. The same way that if we ought to adorn ourselves, not just the women, but the men, to abide themselves with a quiet and meek spirit so they could be a bride prepared, ready, adorned to meet her husband, to meet your maker. You know what I'm saying? That's why he said a virtuous woman is precious as rubies, because it's like an ornament, it's an adorning. You know what I'm saying? To use it in a natural sense, a man who got a good woman, he wears her right on her sleeve. He'll tell everybody about her. He'll sing her praises from one end of the earth to the other. Hopefully he don't get got like a lot of rap skits out of her where nigga was talking good about his old woman, but she was a scallywag. But when you know you got you a good one, boy, a man will speak highly of you. You know what I'm saying? He wear on the sleeve, but that's mine right there, boy. You know what I'm saying? And it just don't be on no jealousy tip, so you know that mine. He proud of that mine right there, boy. Boy, she cook a mean bowl of spaghetti, cook a mean steak. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cook a mean piece of fish. I remember one day T made salmon, she don't even eat salmon. Get a bang up jar too. I'll eat all that salmon. She cooked my salmon. You ain't tell her though. You know what I'm saying? Even tried to come with some restaurant plate and had a little cutting bowl plate. You know what I'm saying? But stuff like that, I ain't know she did it with perfect too. I had just lit the weights too. I needed that omega-3s and that one up. No, it was serious because I put that picture up, let everybody see that. Yeah, my mom made me something to eat and I liked it too. It got smashed. We got gains out of that. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned it for the specific reason though that, you know what I'm saying? Men like that type. You already said, I asked my wife, she called me, you want me to cook something to eat? No, you ain't got to cook nothing. I come home to a fat steak. You know what I'm saying? You sit back looking at this here, boy, who? Well, I wouldn't care what that woman look like. Shoot, can't take her place. Care how big your booty is. How freaky you say you is. But can you cook me a steak without me asking though? You know what I'm saying?
And it ain't dry.
And it ain't dry. Can I come in the house And my woman seen that my shoes needed some cleaning, and she just decided to clean them up for me. And didn't even tell me she cleaned them. I just happened to get in there and change some clothes and grab the shoes up. I seen they were shining. You know what I'm talking about? You like this here, we going to the bar. You know what I'm saying? It just be little stuff like that. You like this here, boy, I'm finna go buy you something. You know what I'm talking about? You appreciate it. If that's your wife now. I hope you ain't doing that for no random women. Something wrong with you. I'm talking about for your wife. For your wife, you supposed to ride. Wouldn't none of y'all ride for your wife she did something like that?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I was young, I was messing with this one boy. I had to fix something to eat. Went to the bathroom, came back. She was washing the dishes. I said, boy, we might keep you. Ain't even have to ask. But it just stuff like that. That's the type of stuff catch a man out. You do stuff that a woman should do and he don't got to ask you to do it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't care how you thought you was swinging your little hips or shaking your little booty or all that stuff you doing. But that man ain't looking at all that stuff, man. I need me a co-pilot. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told you, you know what I'm saying? You know, I know T like order, she know how to handle her own money. I need somebody in case I'm incapacitated for a period of time. She can keep the business afloat. You know what I'm talking about? Even if it's just, hey, I need you to be a certified personal trainer too, in case I hurt myself in the gym. Yeah, they like to say, yeah, my wife will do it. You know what I'm saying? She says she wanted to do group fitness. Like they say, you do it together. Something happened to me, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to have that trust. How you couldn't trust your wife to be able to handle your affairs, something happened to you? You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about if you die though. I'm talking about it like this here. I need you to know the ins and outs of everything I got going on. If I think you're dumb as a box of rocks and can't count past 10, what I'm going to do with you? Tell you, boy, that Johnny get old now. And after a while, you've been with him long enough, boy, I done freaked you everywhere I can freak you. You know what I'm talking about? We done did it. If it's any way it's already been done. Now what? You know what I'm saying? And when y'all was in the world, y'all were doing a little bit more than some of that devil. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all were flute players, and you know what I'm talking about?
Dang.
You know what I'm talking about? Candy nickels and all types of stuff. Some of y'all like the groceries and all. I don't know. Groceries. Hey, when you know better, you do better. But y'all know some of y'all were extra freaky. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all probably still around here licking on and sucking on feet. You know what I'm talking about? All types of stuff.
Not the toes, but the heel.
Heel? Nigga say you put the whole heel in his mouth. Nigga say, let me bite that callus off. Say, you got some dead skin back there, girl. Let me be your manicure. Manicure paste all the same. Might as well been biting on hands.
Been biting hangnails.
You know what I'm saying? Now I need a tension shot.
Show the nails.
Come on back, Psalm 149. Oh, for real though.
Each other.
Don't talk about boogers, Brian. Brian ain't gonna might look up. Brian said, I don't eat no boogers. Thinking like this here, boy. She said Brian ate boogers. Brian said, hold up now. You eat no boogers, man. He said, I eat a lot of stuff. Boogers ain't one of them. Psalms 149 and 2. Hey, let Yahshua rejoice in him that made him, and let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Revelation 19 and 1. I still got you holding Romans 8. You still holding 1 Samuel 1?
I got Revelation 15.
Yeah, we done with that. You get that. We done with that 15.
Revelation 19 and 1.
He said, let them rejoice in him that made him, the children of Zion and their king. And what does Revelation 19 and 1 say?
And after these things, I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah! Salvation and esteem and honor and power unto YAHUAH Elohim. For the true and righteous are his judgments. For he has judged a great war, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication. And has avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. And again they said, Hallelujah! And her smoke rose up forever and ever. And the 24 elders and the 4 living creatures fell down and worshipped Elohim that sat on the throne.
And
saying,
what did they say?
Oh man, hallelujah! Hey, I love it. And a voice came out of the throne saying, Praise our Elohim, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great.
That's good. Don't you think they would be taking pleasure in him that made him and singing praises to their king? That's why I gave it to him, because you know he'd be ready for that.
Hallelujah, praise.
Psalm 149 and 3.
Is it?
Is it? This one right here, like, bro. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For Yahuwah take pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Now, what do you think they mean by beautifying the meek with salvation? Give me Matthew 5 and 1. Give me 2 Corinthians 5 and 1. That's why. Because we already dealt with, he said that he gave him the beauty in the womb of the morning, right? So now he say he'll beautify the meek or the humble, because a quiet and meek spirit is of great price to Yahuwah. Now I know y'all heard that for that women, and that was speaking to women specifically, but you brothers got to take heed to it the same way we were talking about a long while back, even though it's not as long as it seems, about your desire ought to be to your husband.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? The same way you want that woman to obey you and to follow you. Yahusha is your husband, and you ought to obey him and follow him. And the same way that you want that woman to have a quiet and humble spirit, well, Yahusha is your husband, and you ought to adorn yourself with that same quiet and meek spirit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, young man.
Matthew 5 and 1.
That's her.
And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him.
And what happened?
And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in Ruach, for theirs is the kingdom of Shemaim.
He said, if you bless, and when he's saying poor, he's talking about humble. Humble. He told you that in Zephaniah, that there would be left amongst them a poor people that do no iniquity. A humbled people. This is the whole purpose of your trials and your afflictions and your purging and your chastening. It is to humble you, which is what we were talking about last night when we were in the wilderness, in them booths. All the things that we went through was to humble you, so you could prepare to enter into that land that he promised to our fathers. That's the same thing we're dealing with now. He's seeking to humble us so we can be prepared to enter into that land that he swore to our fathers. How you going to enter that land and you ain't been humbled yet? If he did it to your forefathers in the wilderness, what makes you think it's not going to happen to you? You know what I'm saying? What makes you think you're not going to have to follow that track? That'd be the hardest thing for most of y'all, is to be humble. Because you think the way that you've been going and the way that you've been doing all these years is right. And y'all got to cut you down and say, no, sir, that's not right. You can't do that. And sometimes that can be a hard pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? As you'd have told me to pay, you like, you ain't nobody to tell you nothing. That means you wasn't humble. When you don't like for nobody to tell you nothing, that means you proud. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got to bust you down in order for you to get there. Because if you can't, if nobody can't tell you nothing, then how you gonna be able to grow and mature if nobody can't? That means you think you got all the answers. You know what I'm saying? If you sit back and look at one of the things that everybody in this room got to consider, every single individual, everybody on this phone, that you can sit back and it could be something you can say, I got this. And that means, and if you say it, then you ought to really be skilled enough, and whatever it is, and when you say you got that, that means you can really handle that. Not just saying you got it because you don't want nobody to help you or tell you that what you're doing is wrong, and actually show you a better or more efficient way of doing what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what messes a lot of people up, because you really don't know what you're doing, but you're too proud to let somebody show you what you're doing because you don't want nobody to know that you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no shame in it. I done told y'all before, boy, if I don't know about something, boy, I tell you, boy, I don't know. You need to show me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I was taught. My mama told me, don't sit around here fooling with something you don't know what you're doing, ask for some help. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm dealing with something, I know I don't know what I'm doing, and I see you do. Well, show me how to do this right here, man. I ain't got no shame in that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no shame in that. Now, if I wasn't taught that as a child, maybe I wouldn't have had that thought process. I was taught that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to look at that, man. Don't be sitting around here thinking you too sharp or too so somebody to help you, son. You don't know what you're doing. And it's no shame. I repeat, there is no shame in acknowledging and admitting I don't know what I'm doing. Ain't no shame in that. That doesn't make you any less of a man. That doesn't make you any less of a woman. It wouldn't make you any less of a father. It wouldn't make you any less of a mother. It don't make you no less of a businessman. It don't make you no less of an employee. That actually speaks more of your character to show that you're humble enough to say that I don't know this and I need assistance. Actually shows more strength than it does weakness. Come on, man.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit
They
the earth.
will inherit the land. Now how you gonna, he say you, now how you gonna sit back and say you meek, you humble, and you don't humble yourself to the word? You can't even humble yourself to your husband. How is that possible? What I got you on?
I'm in Revelation
You don't
19.
need that. What I got you on?
Sorry, sir.
2 Corinthians 5.
2 Corinthians 5 and 1.
First Samuel 5.
Yeah, we'll get to it, y'all, in a minute. We might be done with it. See, we're looking at talking about beautifying the meek with salvation. Well, this is what the meek will receive in 2 Corinthians 5 and 1. You seeking to be beautified with the tabernacle that's on high. Don't you think that tabernacle they seen coming down from New Jerusalem had to be very beautiful? A sight to behold and a sight to see? Well, we seeking to be beautified with salvation. You know what that beauty of salvation is? It is the Ruach HaKodesh. Only the humble will receive it. Corey, give me Acts 5 and 30. Come on, Dwight. You gotta wrap it up.
Says, for we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Elohim.
We have a place or a sanctuary of Elohim. That's what we said he had a sanctuary prepared in Exodus, right? We got a building from it. We got somewhere to dwell. Come on.
A house not made with hands,
It ain't made with hands.
internal in the heaven.
It's everlasting.
For if we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked.
We won't be found naked. Same way we got on these white robes right now, so we don't be found naked. Give me Matthew 22 and about verse 14. Corey. Come on, Corey.
Acts 5 and 30.
Acts 5 and 30. Because he said he'll beautify the meek with salvation, so we got to see what the meek got to do to be beautified with it. Let's go.
The Elohim of our fathers raised up YAHUAH, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
What else?
Him has Elohim exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, but to give repentance to Yahshua and forgiveness of sins.
What else?
And we are his witnesses of these things.
And
And
so
so
is
is also the Ruach HaKodesh,
And what about the Ruach HaKodesh?
whom Elohim has given to them that obey him.
You can't get that unless you file it. Hold on, Troy. Can you get me Hebrews 5 and 8, please, sir? See, he said he only gonna give the Ruach HaKodesh that them that obey him. In order for you to obey him, you'd have to humble yourself unto him, which means Baruch all the meek. For they inherit the earth, right? Huh? So that means that he will beautify the meek with salvation, which is to beautify you with the... Remember, he said, is this going back to what we read a long time ago, dealt with a long time ago in 1 Chronicles 29, when he said this house must be exceedingly magnificent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this place has to be magnificent. And don't you realize what a Mashiach was standing in his esteem before his apostles? Shining. You know what I'm talking about? To where they were terrified and they thought they seen a spirit. And this man had to be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because see, when they say there was no beauty in him that we would desire him, see, they didn't deem the righteousness of Yah's word and the faith and obedience to it to be a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? The same way that men don't see it to be a beautiful thing now. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I'm just mentioning that, because you know niggas try to say the man was ugly. You got to be stupid. If the father is just like the son, you just said Yah's ugly. Now, how many gonna sit back and say that when they, you know, Mashiach ugly, man. He wasn't no handsome man. Say, don't he say he in the express image of his father? Yeah, so you saying the father ugly too? Say, I ain't saying that. But see, it wasn't no beauty in him that we would design. See, so that's how we know he was kind of unattractive. See, they try to make that man ugly because you ugly. You know what I'm saying? Man, don't be mad because your genetic gene pool wasn't on point, so now you want the Savior to be ugly. Niggas is crazy. I wish I was joking. Niggas really say that the man was ugly. How many of y'all done heard that?
Heard that.
Yeah, they mad because their genetic gene pool messed up. Them had around here because you look like the elephant man. Come on, man.
It says, though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the sufferings which he suffered.
Mm-hmm.
And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obeyed him.
That's the only way you gonna get. That was Hebrews 5 and 8 and 9 when you just read. That's the only way you gonna be beautified. If he made perfect, that means he's made complete in Yah. Wouldn't you think that'd be a beautiful thing? We after to be made beautiful. Not with the beauty. That's why he say not to adorn yourself with the plaiting of the hair or the wearing of gold or the changing of apparel, but to adorn yourself with a quiet and meek spirit. Because when you adorn yourself with that, you're actually in the beauty of salvation, because he say he'll beautify the beauty. You follow what I'm saying? Because the only way you're going to get what you after is you got to be humble. You know what I'm saying? And no man under Shamahim is exempt from that. No man. You know what I'm saying? Our whole point is not coming in here with white clothes on just to wear white. Matthew 22 and 14. So, Corey, what I got you on?
I just got finished with Acts 5 and I got
First second. We'll get to it. I'm still holding Psalm 149. I think we just might be good and well done with First Samuel 25. Get me Ecclesiastes 9 and 5. Dwight, get me Revelation chapter 7 and about verse 7. Make it 6. And get the epistle, I'll get the epistle of Jude. Get the epistle of Jude, everybody. And about verse 20. Come on, man.
Matthew 22 and 11. 22 and 14.
Make it 11. I'm glad that you said that. 14 is the end.
22 and 11.
Come on.
And when the king came in to the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment.
He didn't have the right clothes on.
And he said unto him, Friend, how come thou hither not having a wedding garment?
And it's funny that when you sit back and you look at society, that a woman's attire is for her to have white when she get married. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what white's supposed to signify. Pureness. Cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? Now we know it's a lot of women walk down them aisles with that white on and there ain't nothing pure about you. Your womb was defiled many, many moons ago. You know what I'm saying? Now we sitting back looking at, we don't want to be a woman walking down with white on and we actually ain't worried, because what it's actually going to look like in the eyes of the Most High is you might got a white outfit on, but it's a big old stain on it, because you really ain't that pure. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all before, I had to tell a young woman, I said, you know the high priest can't marry no whore. She was like, well, what you trying to be? I'm like, I ain't even talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because Romans chapter 7, Paul say, a woman would be an adulteress unless her husband died. But if he be dead, she be not an adulteress and she can be married to another. Because we dealt with this before when he devised the means to bring his banished back to it. So he devised the means to make you pure again, which is to have you be born through the pure seed, which is a Mashiach. And therefore you would be clean. That's why he's saying he washed away our sins in his own blood. You know what I'm saying? All the uncleanliness and defiledness that we had in us, he can remove it. But you got to allow him to do it. And you got to, and most importantly, you got to be willing to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you something, man. Anything y'all think y'all done got hit with, man, look here, man, before I could get to the point to be standing here in front of you, I had to get hit. All that stuff got to go away. You know what I'm saying? This man had me sitting in the house reading stuff like, oh, boy, I ain't know he had no business doing that. Ain't know he had no business doing that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't know he had no business doing that. You go to sit back looking at it like, boy, I should have been dead a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all, man, I was sitting back, man, sometimes I used to be in prison. And then when I started dealing with the word, I came to find out that people thought I was blaspheming. But then I found out I would never blaspheme. When I found out that Jesus Christ was a made-up character. The only reason I ain't really go hard about it because I didn't really want to get in in a vain conversation and discussion to deviate from the main point of what I'm trying to express. You know what I'm saying? Because you run across people and we argue about a name or how to say it or how to spell it. What I actually came here for had been defeated. You know what I'm saying? I ain't come here for that. You just not going to hear me say it. You know what I'm talking about? If you say it, I ain't finna go off on you. Because I ain't going to get the way I want to get at it. You know what I'm saying? But over time, you get to the point of just not dealing with it no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just go ahead and go in on that. I mean, we been knowing it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to have a little tact and a little wisdom if you're trying to snag people. You know what I'm saying? Really just to drop a jewel on them and go on about your business and call them the thing. And if they see something later, they'll be like, man, I remember I was talking to such and such and he said something about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to go hard about on Jesus Christ in prison, boy, and on the street. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going for it. I remember a dude told me I believe in the rapture. So I said, man, I don't believe in no white man coming around here, man, niggas just floating up in the sky, clothes folded up in the middle of the street. They don't believe that sounds retarded. That don't even sound logical. You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me I got to sit back and give homage to this white dude, man, after I've been evil all my life and all I got to say is, Jesus, I love you, I believe. Nigga, I don't believe that. Nigga, that sounds stupid. Come to find out, I was right. I ain't know I was right. I was really just bucking this. It really did sound stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, they were right the whole time. Come on, bro.
When the king came in to see the guests, he saw a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said to
He
him,
ain't have on what?
not on a wedding garment.
He ain't have on what?
A wedding garment.
He wasn't ready.
And he said to him, friend, how come down here to not have on a wedding garment?
So why you ain't got no clothes on? Why you got the wrong clothes on?
And he was speechless.
He couldn't say a word.
Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him in the outer darkness.
Ooh.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Man, you kill that nigga. Come on.
For many are called, but few are chosen.
Ain't a lot of people gonna get to this supper.
Then with the Pharisees,
Not a lot of people gonna get to this supper.
what was that?
76. Revelation 76. See, I'm telling you something right now. This is what you got on white folk right now. Because you're supposed to be getting ready for this supper. How you gonna come to the wedding feast with the wrong clothes on? Come on, Elizabeth. Go ahead. Revelation 7:5.
It says of the tribe of Judah was sealed.
Revelation 7:9. Let's go.
It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne,
What they had on?
and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes.
Clothes with what?
White robes.
With what?
White robes,
Go ahead.
and palms in their hands.
Core Ecclesiastes 9:5. Make it 4.
9 and 4, Ecclesiastes. But to him that is joined to all the living there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
Don't y'all realize that him that's joined to the living there is hope? Hold what you got. Troy, Hebrews 11:5. He said, he that is joined to the living, there is hope. I'm going to read something in the book of Revelation. We still holding the epistle of Jude in Psalms 149. Go ahead, Troy.
Hebrews 11:5. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because Elohim had translated him.
Mm-hmm.
For before his translation he had this testimony that he pleased Elohim.
That's the sit thing we got to sit back and look at. Our testimony need to be that we plead the Most High. Come on.
Without faith it is impossible to please.
It's impossible.
For he that come to Elohim must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek
So he
him.
say he that's joined to him that is read it again from the corner. I don't want to record.
But to him that is joined to all the living there is hope.
He say to him that's joined to all the living that is hope. You know, Mashiach told you to what? Abide in me and I in you, right? He that is joined to the master is one ruach. You know what I'm saying? So when I read this Revelation chapter 1 and about verse 17, go to Revelation 1 and about 17. That was Kira saying she seen a documentary where they said he was ugly too. Revelation 1 and 17 says, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. And he laid his right hand upon me, saying, fear not, I am the first and the last. I am he that lived and was dead. Behold, I am alive forevermore. So be it, and have the keys of hell and death. Don't you realize if we join to a Mashiach, we have hope? Dwight, give me 1 John chapter 3. 1 John chapter 3 and about verse 18. You got to understand, he said he that's joined to the living have hope, right? You know them niggas like to blaspheme. Y'all follow that dead man, all that. He said, I ain't dead, I live forevermore. I was dead, now I live, and I live forevermore. If you join to a Mashiach, you have hope, because you got to believe that Yah is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. That's why Paul said in the 8th chapter of the epistle to the Romans, he said if we have hope, he said if you see what you hope for, then how is it hope? He said, but if you see it not and you hope for it, then with patience you wait for it. Because he that is joined to a Mashiach has some hope. You know what I'm talking about? And our hope is to dwell forever. Come on, bro.
It says, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. And hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him. For if our hearts condemn us, Elohim is greater than our hearts. All knoweth all things, and knoweth all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence towards
that means you have hope because you'll be joined to him now, wouldn't you? Look what the next thing he say.
And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do these things that are pleasing in his sight.
That's what we got to consider, because we got somebody that has an audience with the Most High and has his ear to speak on your behalf. Huh? Come on, Corey. Ecclesiastes 9 and 4. 9 and 5.
For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. Neither have they any more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. Go your way, eat your bread with joy, and drink your wine with a merry heart.
Y'all remember what that is. Come on.
For Elohim now accepts your works. Let your garments be always white.
Let your what?
Let your garments be always white.
He said, but before that he said, Elohim do what?
Elohim now accepts your works.
Like Apostle Paul said, that you've been accepted in the beloved. The only way you're going to be accepted of Yah is through his son when you done ate that bread and drank that wine and was merry in heart, because you realized the sacrifice that was made. He said, let your garment be what?
Always white.
Well, let's look at the epistle of Jude that we were holding. Why you need to keep them garments white, huh? And don't lack no ornament. Yeah, no, I knew that was there, we just don't know. But I appreciate you adding. He said don't lack that spirit either, you're definitely going to be in trouble. Epistle of Jude and about verse 18. We'll make it 17. But beloved, remember ye the words which were spoken of the apostles of our master, YAHUAH HaMashiach, how they told you there shall be mockers in the last time who should walk after their own unkodesh lust. These be they who separate themselves sensual, not having the spirit. But ye be loved, building up yourselves on your most kodesh faith, praying in the Ruach HaKodesh. Keep yourselves in the love of Elohim, looking for the mercy of our Master YAHUAH HaMashiach unto eternal life. And some have compassion, making a difference. And others saved with fear, pulling out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. Because I got to make sure my garments are always white. Got to keep it clean, got to keep it pure. That's why he say even though you take much niter, you can't wash it away. That's why he say wash you, make you clean. I know every last one of y'all got that white on. You'll walk real gingerly and real light. You like, well, don't touch me, don't brush up against me, because you ain't finna get my clothes dirty. And that's how you got to sit back and look at the carrying of your soul. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep my garments always white. Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. To the only wise Elohim, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and ever. Amen. Come on in Psalm 149, because we finna wrap it up. I got to finish Psalm 1. We can't come in here 2 times and not finish Psalm 140. I called for it last time and we ain't never get around here to it. We can't start it and not finish it. I'm in verse 4. So when we read verse 4 and it says, for Yahuwah take pleasure in his people, he will beautify the meek with his salvation, because it pleased Yah to make you his people. It pleased him to send Yahushua to sacrifice himself for you so that you could be beautified and be healed. The next verse say, but let the Kodeshim be joyful in esteem, and let them sing aloud upon their beds. Don't you realize that talking about them singing aloud when they get up out of that grave? And this is what the next thing he say. Let the high praises of Elohim be in their mouth, and a 2-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his Kodeshim. Go ahead, Corey. You see the last word. Well, you see what the last word, because you like to say it. Your favorite word.
Hallelujah!
I'm gonna set it up different. We're gonna set it up right. You ready? Yeah. He say to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his Kodeshim.
Hallelujah!
So you sit back and look at, well, the first time I ever read that, I'm like, boy, we gonna get to kill these people. We gonna get to lock them up. I say, boy, that, for me, that was motivation enough to obey right there. See, some of y'all, that might have not been no motivation like this. It's like the people who've been doing it. And one of these days, we're going to sit down and we're going to go through the sub-Saharan slave trade. I know I mentioned that to y'all a few months back. Because that sub-Saharan slave trade might be more brutal than what we've experienced over here.
It is still going on.
And it has not stopped. Indeed, it has not stopped. Them Arabs are still capturing you and enslaving you and selling you to this very day. Because if you think these white folks hate you, you better think y'all you wasn't on the boats that went to the east. That you got on the boats that went to the west. Because for those of you who are not aware of the sub-Saharan slave trade, it is horrific. Because those Arabs are some beastly, evil people. You know what I'm saying? But that's another conversation for another day. Revelation chapter 19. We shall stop at Revelation chapter 19. Even when we talk about what we were looking at in Exodus 15, right, about them coming into the place where he brought them in, what's the key thing he told them when they came up out of Mizraim? He said, bring me my people so they may do what? Sacrifice and have a feast to me. When they came out of Mizraim, they went straight to dwelling in booths and had a feast to the man. Because it was already showing you about the tabernacle, the feast of ingathering, or the marriage supper of the Lamb. He was getting them ready. He was trying to show us then. But most of our brothers and sisters out here too stupid to catch it.
Yeah, turn around.
Revelation chapter 19 and about verse 7. And it says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor unto him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. How do we make ourselves ready? By covering ourselves and beautifying ourselves with salvation, which is adorning ourselves with a quiet and meek spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the same spirit of Mashiach had. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make yourself ready. These white garments, these white clothes you got on today, it to show you that you done humbled yourself, and you done followed the word, and you obeyed the word, and you made yourself pure and clean through the blood of a Mashiach, so you can be ready to dine with him. You know, most of y'all think making yourself ready for your husband is getting your body on point, or getting your cooking skills on point, or doing some Kegel exercises or something. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't what it's about. And to her was granted, and listen to what he said she would have on. This is why we got it on. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. And ain't that something they wrapped Hamashiach up when he died in fine linen, clean and white. And you know from 1 Corinthians 1:30, the Apostle Paul told us that Hamashiach was made as righteousness for us. And it's the righteousness of Yah to do all the words of this law. And to do all the words of this law, because the end or the purpose of the law was to point you to a Mashiach that would make you wise unto salvation to the delivering of your soul. And he saith unto me, Baruch, blessed are they. And you know, in English, blessed means happy. I would hope you would be very happy. Blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, right. These are the true sayings of Elohim. And remember, this is when we talk about being called. That's when we were talking about those who say, why can you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Because you haven't been called to this. Remember to think about Samuel. Remember even in that burning bush, he said, Masha, Moses, called for him. You know what I'm saying? And he heard him. Samuel. He said, here am I. He heard him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say, blessed are those that are called to the marriage supper of the Lamb. These are the true sayings of Elohim. Everybody can't hear the call. Praise ye Yah for Yahushua Mashiach in the word. Y'all understood all this here?
Yes, sir.
I need somebody to kill like that. You know what I'm saying? Praise ye Yah for Yahushua Mashiach. Praise, look, Brian got the white pants.